He then kidnapped me and took me to an unknown location where I now sat bound in a darkened and sinistered room.
So, Pip-Bin, you're at my mercy. And alas for you, I have no mercy.
What do you intend to do?
I have drawn up an agenda for our time together. Let me read it to you. 1, pain. 2, more pain. 3, quite a lot of suffering. 4, coffee and biscuits. 5, pain again. 6, agony. And finally, 7, any other pain.
You're a monster, albeit an organized one.
His torturing started in a low-key way.
The salmon is a little overdone.
Have some wine with it.
But this is red wine! With fish, you fiend!
But it soon became crueler. He did unspeakable things to me with a range of instruments. He hit me in the face with a violin, pushed a clarinet further up my nose than he should have, and made me wear 2 tubers as earrings. The only comfort I had was the knowledge that my best friend Harry, wife Ripley, and sister Pippa would be striving valiantly to save me.
We haven't a second to lose. These crumpets are very nearly burnt.
How can you speak of crumpets when Pip is held captive by Mr. Benevolent?
Yes, I'd forgotten. You are right, Pippa. I must start work on a Pip-Bin rescuing device. Immediately. Now. Instantly. First thing tomorrow.
Alas, my poor husband is probably dead already. I'm almost certainly a widow now. A young, comely widow. Is it too early to go to parties and flirt with other men?
Yes!
You are right, dear sister-in-law. I must grieve for him first. I shall commission a memorial to dear, almost certainly dead, Pip.
Meanwhile, I was still in Mr. Benevolent's evil and hideous clutches.
Do you take milk?
Please.
And have a biscuit.
That's very kind of you.
Right, coffee break over. What's next? Ah, yes, more pain.
His torments became crueler yet. He gave me the latest best-selling novels, but then ruined the endings.
By the way, the first Mrs. Rochester lives in the attic.
I was enjoying that!
He rubbed my face with herring and got cats to lick it off with their weird rough tongues.
Ow! Why can't you have normal tongues like dogs or humans?
I could only bear the agony because I knew my family's love would save me.
I have designed my memorial, a 1,000-foot statue of dear, pretty definitely late Pip. In the chest shall be a concert hall. People will ascend the trouser staircase and listen to the Pip-Bin Memorial Orchestra, then stroll through the lush, fertile gardens of his loins.
And I have drawn up plans for my Pip-Bin rescuing machine. Look. That is me on the left using my Pip-Bin rescuing device to rescue Pip-Bin, who is on the right.
And the blank bit in the middle with a huge question mark is your device?
Yes, touch of the old inventor's block.
Why are you two wasting time on pointless machines and memorials?
Overseeing the statue helps me grieve. It will be soothing to watch the men at work. Stripped, almost bare. Oh, how I miss Pip.
We all do. But at least I am doing something to find him.
What, exactly?
I spend hours each day in the house crematorium weeping for his return.
As for me, Mr. Benevolent had saved his vilest torture implements for last. Wheels of cheddar, wedges of brie, and truckles of Stilton. Fear ran through me. I was going to be cheese-boarded.
Now, let us start with this camembert.
But it is not yet runny! You monster!
He began his evil work, force-feeding me cheese hour after hour, and not a glass of port in sight.
No man can bear this much cheese by itself. I must have a cracker. Maybe some chutney.
Eventually, the inevitable cheese hallucinations began. As before my cheese-scrambled mind came a vision of my own dear sister.
Poor Pip. I miss him so. Why, I can almost see him in my mind's eye.
Pippa. Dear sister Pippa. It is as if I can see you.
He speaks. My hallucination speaks.
She speaks. My hallucination speaks.
And it is as if I can smell him. And he smells really, really cheesy. Oh, I can bear this vision no longer. I must flee the quietorium.
No! Curse these hallucinations of illusory hope.
Until finally, Mr. Benevolent had finished his evil tormenting.
Well, I think we've worked our way through the agenda. Oh, did I staple gun your nostrils together yet?
Yes.
Did I flick you with a wet towel?
No. Yes, ow!
Right, just one more item. Kill Pip-Bin. That shouldn't take long.
He pulled out a flintlock pistol and aimed it at my head.
Goodbye, Pip-Bin.
In my despair, I had another cruel hallucination.
Oops, sorry, wrong room. Oh, hello, Pip. I didn't know you were in here being shot by Mr. Benevolent. I'll go. Hang on. This is probably a silly question, but do you need rescuing?
Yes!
Wait there, Pip-Bin. I'll just go and get my Pip-Bin rescuing device.
That fool. By the time he's fetched his device, you'll be long dead, and my plan for world domination...
Got it! Oh, no, sorry, I've forgotten a bit.
Ha! By the time he's fetched his missing bit, you'll be long dead, and my plan...
Got it! Now just to set it up.
Ha! By the time he's set it up, you...
Finished! Now all I have to do is wait for the vernal equinox. Ah! Oh, well, that's not supposed to happen.
Curse it! Your falling device has knocked the pistol from my hand. Oh, I must flee. But I shall return. New plan, more evil, blah-de-blah. You know the form by now.
He turned and plunged out of the window.
Didn't hurt.
And Harry stood triumphant.
I have won! Well, that was surprisingly easy. I must admit it's a bit of a relief, because the vernal equinox isn't for ages.
Harry, dear friend, you have rescued me and can take me home.
Take you home? Yes?
My mind was in such a cheese fuzz that it seemed only seconds before I was back in my very own bedroom and laid to rest. In a good way and not in a dead way.
Oh, joy! My memorial shall be a living memorial.
Memorial?
It is nearly finished by the strong, sinewy, sweating foundry workers. Oh, how mainly glad I am to see you alive.
Mr. Benevolent's cruelty had left me scarred. I had Stilton burns and a nasty cheddar graze. But the mental scars were worse. Cheese fear was driving me out of my wits.
The cheddar! The cheddar!
Luckily, help soon arrived.
Yes?
Good morning. I am an itinerant mind straightener, anti-loom doc, or dementalizer.
A psychiatrist?
Oh, that's a much better word for it. Do you have any bent minds, loons, or mentalists in need of treatment?
Why, yes, for my own mind is bent into a loony mental shape.
Then let me help you. My name is Dr. Caduceus Whackwallop.
But that makes you a cousin to the hard thrashers and stonebeaters, and therefore a natural ally of Mr. Benevolence.
Gently who?
Most reassuring. But can you treat me? Can you cure me?
I will treat you more than an indulgent grandmother, and cure you better than a yummy ham. First, I must ascertain your exact mental state.
Cheese-based terrors left me constantly on edge. Any loud noise startles me.
Like this one?
Ah, yes!
My apologies. Boo!
Bah!
You're in a state which my mind-straightening German colleagues would call Sprekel meiner Herzikopf alles Riese Bundigen, which loosely translates as sad.
Such economy of language, the Germans.
So long as you avoid all contact with cheese, I believe I can help you. But first, you must sign this consent form.
Of course. But this is not a form. It is an A4 size slice of Emmental. Ah!
And I've made my lunchtime sandwich with paper rather than cheese. What an amusing mix-up.
It was not an auspicious start, but a visit to see my living memorial cheered me.
Is it not a handsome statue? A supple yet strong one, with needs and desires and passions.
It is. Though I do not recall ever being a cavalry officer.
You were not here, dear husband, and I needed a model.
Of course. Now I must go home to rest.
And I must continue polishing the gigantic buttocks and loins of the statue. Oh, how shiny it shall be.
Her evident joy in it warmed my heart, and the next day, Dr. Wackwallop returned.
Mr. Bin, I brought you a gift.
Oh, it is some milk. How kind. No! This milk is off. So off it has become. Cheese! Ah!
Tell me why cheese upsets you so.
The memory is too painful.
Then let me use a technique some people call mesmerism or hypnotism, but which I call swirly-eye mindy-mendism. Look closely at this watch on a chain as I swing it.
Ow! Why did you hit me on the head with the watch? And again!
He hit me repeatedly and rhythmically over the head with the watch, and I drifted into a dazed trance.
My head hurts.
What do you remember?
Torture, most vile. Mr. Benevolent, leering, looming, laughing. I can hear him now.
But he is not here.
And now I see him. He is here, I tell you.
A repressed traumatic image. There is no one here. I shall wave my hand vigorously through the air to prove it. Ow! Aye. Sorry. Now, tell me about the room you were held in.
I described it, and to my surprise, he led me down the corridor and into a room that was horribly familiar.
This is the room. But how did you recreate it so precisely?
I did not, for this is where you were held, your house crematorium. I do hope the shock isn't too overwhelming.
I did not recognize it. For as a man, I have never been inside. But to have been imprisoned in my own home, I fear my mind will break.
And we'll leave it there for today.
The revelation shattered me. I stung more than a sunburned man who has fallen into a bed of nettles and then tried to ease the pain with wasps.
How did you not realize I was in the crematorium?
With hindsight, perhaps we should have. What with hearing you shouting, "Ow, ow, stop torturing me, Mr. Benevolent, someone please rescue me," all the time.
Alas, dear husband, I could not hear you, for I was in the foundry, supervising your memorial.
Dear brother, I wept for you.
Perhaps if you'd looked for me in the room where you were weeping. Because it turns out that's where I was.
These past months have been so hard for us.
Hard for you? Right. Because it was so easy for me.
Phew! I'm glad about that.
No, it was not easy. Not. I was tortured. Now get out.
Very well.
But I'm your best friend, Pip-Bin.
No, I need a new best friend, for this one is broken.